2020 was a weird ass year. I don't think I need to tell you what happened this year, so I'll just talk about games so we can have some sweet escapism. Now first things first, when I started playing video games, I started with mobile games. That was the first thing I did. So I obviously have a lot of nostalgia for a lot of games that are frowned upon right now. I replayed a lot of mobile games this year, and I really want to say no, please don't close the video, I swear don't. Robbery Bob, Dismount Series, Fancy Pants Adventures, Bloons, Death Form, Only One, Fruit Ninja, Crashlands, Worms, Asphalt, 7, not 9, not 8, 7, because that's the only one I played. What I'm trying to say is that I think you should drop your prejudice for a second and try some of these out. Trust me, just because they're mobile games does not mean they're bad. There's nothing inherently bad about being able to play it on your phone. Some of the most groundbreaking, technologically advanced titles of 20 years ago.
It's the new Nintendo 64. So what's the big deal, and why is Toys R Us already sold out?
Featuring 64-bit technology that produces amazing 3D animation, including zoom-in technology that might make you dizzy.
Can now be played on your phone.
It's working, guys. As you can see, it is working.
Want me to try it?
Nope.
I also played a lot of computer games this year, because Epic Games Store decided to do this thing where they gave out like tons of free games, and they're not even like bad games, like even cheap games. They're not like $5 games. There's literally GTA 5, Just Cause 4, Hitman, Watch Dogs 1 and 2, and so much more. Holy shit, I have so many new games to play. I wish I had time for all of them. This is so sad. One last game I'd like to mention is this one game, Sword with Sauce. I did not want to put this game on the list because it's still in alpha mode. It's like out of development. The developers just gave up on this game because of the lack of support. But it has so much potential. It makes me so sad to see this game just completely dropped. Look at this footage. You can get a grappling hook and then you can jump on the rooftop, slash some dude, throw your sword at another guy, take a sniper midair, shoot someone else with it, Captain America shield, blast some dude off, make it bounce off of 3 dudes and the wall, and then take it and then throw it at another guy, killing him. Fucking, this is a good game. If this game was fully released, it could be one of my favorite games of all time, but... Okay, list time. This year I don't think I'm gonna do top 10 because I could only think of 7 games to put on this list. But well, top 7 is good enough, okay? Number 7, chess. I'm not joking. Everyone knows chess, but it wasn't until March when I actually started to play it again. This game is still fun after thousands of years. That alone makes it one of the greatest games ever made. There's so many variants, so much attention being given to it, but it's still not stale.
Ooh. That is dirty. Wow.
I think if you have a friend that is even slightly interested in trying this game out, you should definitely do it. Hell, if you're watching this video, you can just DM me and I will play it with you. Another game I'd like to mention inside of this is Really Bad Chess. It's a different variant. It's a mobile game. The gimmick is that the pieces are randomized. So you can get like 5 queens and the opponent will get 8 rooks or something. It balances out. It's a really interesting concept and it's fun to play. Especially in public transit when you're waiting for your bus to land or something. I don't know, I only use my camels. Number 6 is A Short Hike. This is a cute little game. It came free from Epic Games and I really had a pleasant time playing this. The best word I can use to describe this game is just cute. It's a really cute game. I don't think I really have much to say else about this game. Pretty much everything you do will be rewarded in some way. This constant feeling of fulfillment is something a lot of games are missing. This game also has great music. As a musician myself, I really appreciate a good game soundtrack. Overall, this game is just basically Fury Celeste. Number 5. Great Big War Game. Now this is the first and only mobile game that I mentioned in this list. It's not a game where you have an insanely convoluted story or amazing graphics or anything, but it has a style. I appreciate games that have a lot of character to them. This game has a lot of personality to itself. It's strategic without being boring. It's simple without being shallow. This is how you make a good strategy game. Number 4. Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. I prefer to call this game just Tabs. It sounds better. This is a fun game, made by what is probably my favorite video game development studio in the world, Landfall Games. These guys made Cluster Truck and then they made Stick Fight the game. They had a low point after that, but then they made this game. In just 3 years, these guys put out some of the most fun games I've ever played. And as if the game's releases weren't enough, this game constantly gets great updates. The most recent one being the Unit Creator, which brought a lot of mileage to this game. The Unit Creator is still not finished, although even now it is one of the greatest Unit Creators I've seen in any game. There's a lot of customization, not just clothing. You don't just make the same guy but with different clothes. You straight up control their moveset, their stats, their weapons, everything. This is definitely the best part of the game. You can even make a unit that looks like yourself and have it executed. Now, number 3 might be a game that no one expected. I haven't seen a single video of this on any social media website, but I do think it deserves some attention. Among Us, ladies and gentlemen. Among Us is just another take on the murder mystery genre, but why does this stick out over the horde of different games of the same concept? I'm not gonna say this is the greatest murder mystery game ever created, but I'm gonna say it is up there. With simple rules and simple controls, it's very easy to get into, and at the same time, somehow also not super shallow. You can actually be good at this game, and yet it's not boring if you're not. Wait, can I kill 3 people at once? Wait, there's a cooldown! The game also tackles balancing issues completely by letting the players decide the rule set. Of course, it sets some boundaries, but like, you decide how long tasks will take. You decide how far imposters can see. You decide how far crewmates can see. This is just a fun game, and I'm personally pretty happy that this is one of the games in 2020 that profited massively. Number 2. Celeste. This game was actually supposed to be in the best of 2019, but I finished the script of that video about a month before I actually played this game. This is a masterpiece. It's definitely one of the greatest games I've ever played. It has amazing gameplay, an interesting style, and great music. Some of it was a bit more difficult than what I could handle, but that's okay honestly. I could finish the entire game and do all of the B-sides. The C-sides are just impossible for me, but honestly I'm glad they exist. I think it's a good thing for games to have higher difficulty settings optional for the more dedicated players. As long as there's not some true ending hidden behind them, I'm fine just not being one of them. Okay, now that we got the baby games out of the way, there is now the turn of the only game that matters in the world. Ark. This is definitely one of the best games I have ever played. You live in a world full of dinosaurs. That's a cool enough premise on its own. But you can also tame them and then ride them, which is, for me, it is the main point of the game. There's just something magical about being able to walk around, hunt, and ride prehistoric animals that you read about 10 years ago as a child. Maybe this is a bit personal, but come on, I can't be alone in this. This grand feeling of exploration, the exhilaration you feel when you're in the middle of the island, in an environment you're not familiar with, being chased down by a giant dinosaur, trying to put it to sleep with your tranq arrows being shot from your homemade crossbow, and finally, when you finally get to put it to sleep, the feeling of triumph. Not a lot of games are capable of capturing these feelings. While the game most definitely has cracks in its game design, I am more than willing to look past them in favor of this uniqueness. I'll just let the gameplay and music speak for themselves.